The following contest, representing Colorado, weighing in at Little Homie John.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one.
A lot of superstars on the roster. This guy is amongst the hardest working. That goes without saying.
Definitely shout out to Don Chaos. We know you got our back, and we got your back too, man. Denver, Colorado all day, brother. We're definitely going to hook up with you. Much love to Carnival Spirits for putting us on as well on this YouTube, man.
Shout out to you, Don Chaos, for, what is this episode, like 126 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
You've been putting in work, bro. Respect. Y'all doing some shit for the community and the fam out there. Appreciate it. So just keep doing what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Congrats to Don Chaos for 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop.
Keep it going, man.
Congratulations, Don Chaos. Yes, keep it going, man. Good luck to you, fucking Don Chaos, and fucking hell yeah on your 1,000 fucking followers.
You know who it is. It's Ouija Mac, bitch. Shout out to Carnival Spirits. And fucking shout out to Don Chaos one time. You know what's going on.
This is my brother. Everyone, Don Chaos and Brother Lynch Hung here.
Yeah, and Carnival Spirits. What's up, man? Don Chaos. What's up? It's your boy Brother Lynch Hung. We out here tonight. Let's go.
Fuego Flames and my nigga Don Chaos. What's going on, B? It's my brother right here. It's my boy. Excuse the left. Excuse the left.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Don Chaos, and I'm with a very legendary man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we at the gathering, y'all.
Podcast/radio show of the year. This one's always controversial. Coming in number one, we got Hours of Chaos with Don Chaos. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, congratulations, man. Don Chaos, Hours of Chaos.
Yo, 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 yo. What is good, everyone? You guys already know who this is. You know, this is the one and only Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S. Your friendly neighborhood JUGGALO, the Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. If you still don't know, chat, let him hear it. Yeah. Make sure you guys are sharing this everywhere. Everywhere. All over social media. Flood social media. Flood the interwebs with this. This is the Hours of Chaos podcast. This is episode. What episode is this, y'all? What is this? This is episode 197. Holy shit, y'all. All I got to say if you guys think the sound quality sounds good on here now, I recommend you guys get headphones like this for your phone and computer, and you will hear that this now podcast, the sound quality with headphones like this, or if you have good speakers or good TV, the sound quality coming from stuff now is top notch now, like top notch. Like just watching and hearing my intro with the instrumental to the theme song, if you guys hear the instrumental in the theme song to this show, and if you have great headphones or good sound speakers, trust me, this sound quality of the show has stepped up. What is good? Exactly. So yes, tonight we are going to be joined by Odprophet, aka ODP. Let me get an ODP in the chat, y'all. Hell yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. You guys know how we do here on the Hours of Chaos podcast. We come on, we like to promote people, whether you're an underground artist or group, or you just so happen to be someone who has your own clothing brand. You're somehow involved in this underground juggalo shit, or you have a love for this entertainment industry. Because, we bring in back hashtag underground unity in the chat, y'all. I want to see it. Hashtag underground unity, hashtag underground united. Ain't no divides up here. Of course, if you guys saw, we were joined by Two Boots. Of course, I want to send a very happy birthday to my brother, Two Boots. If you guys saw the Hours of Chaos podcast last Friday, we did a live singing happy birthday to the homie Two Boots on the show, which is very dope. And we were also joined by Frankie Goldie, y'all. Frankie Goldie joined us. Yes, Lady Chaos with the hashtag underground unity. And we have our guest right now in the chat. So get ready, bro. I'm about to send you the link. Of course, we're live on Facebook. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We are live everywhere. What up? What up? What up? Hell yeah. Of course, I think also me and Lady Chaos are going to be maybe doing a special New Year's edition Hours Love and Chaos stream where we just chill and ring in the new year with you guys. So, yeah. So we're probably going to be doing that this weekend. Of course, Saturday, I have plans to do a live review for my homies Dead Camp. Oh, and our guest right now is waiting in the green room, y'all. So let's give him the proper introduction. Let me get my mic ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hours of Chaos podcast, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. P. Bear, bear, bear.
What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good, y'all? This is ODP, the one and only ODP. Bear, bear, bear. What's good This Odprophet here, Cerberus Clique here with Don Chaos. What episode number did you say we're on?
197.
I've got a lot of catching up to do, brother. I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Well, it's a perfect time because, you know, here we're all about underground unity on this show.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on here to chop it up with you.
Well, and I love what you guys have been doing. Of course, we had your brother Doc Gruesome on here.
Yeah.
Eventually, the goal is to get all of you on here to talk about like the project you guys have coming on, because you guys have been making a lot of moves lately.
We've got so much going on. It's ridiculous right now, man. We've got so much going on. So many different pieces moving behind the scene, and everybody's collaborating with each other constantly when it comes to SV, when it comes to Cerberus. So you can expect projects with me and other members. I know me and EJ got a project. Me and Doc's project's about to drop, and you know, I'm working with everybody else. We've all got projects dropping with each other. So not only is there the Cerberus, but there's Doc's albums, my albums. Everybody's got stuff going on. So we're just trying to make an impression, you know.
Well, and I think like I told people, I think we're trying to bring back to show talent and individuality. Because remember back in our days when labels were dropping music like constantly, like you had like No Limit always dropping something. You had Death Row always dropping something. Psychopathic, Strange Music, Suburban Noise.
And everybody on the labels was active. You know what I mean? You didn't have so many people on the bench, on the sidelines, like, yeah, so-and-so dropped an album and so-and-so, but what about them, and them? You know, and we're trying to keep that spirit of back when everything was moving and everybody was dropping albums, and kind of bring that back into the game a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because in this day and age, you got to kind of do that just to stay relevant. You either have to drop a single, you have to drop a mixtape, something now, and that's cool.
Yeah, something. Imagery is very important too. Videos are a big part of this day and age, you know. So
oh yeah, and a lot of the videos you guys have been filming are very top notch. I love that shit.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a Laps, of course, a home team Laps, and then my bro Nobi, my bro Noble Cinema, Inf Gang. They're both amazing. They're both amazing. I'd suggest you know, if anybody needs some work, those are my go-tos when it comes to videos, man. I always got to holler at my people, you know, because I appreciate everything they do with me, everything they do for me. You know, if it wasn't for them, the videos wouldn't be as fresh as they are. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the show. It's to like showcase everyone's talent, whether you're in the music, behind the camera, if you're someone who does a podcast like this, or if you have your own clothing brand. It's to help showcase and give the people that have that talent that recognition they deserve.
Exactly. I appreciate you hitting me. I appreciate being on here, and that level of unity. I was already, you know, I hit the link and I was watching on the YouTube and saw your whole intro and stuff. It's cool to see so many people brought together through your platform, you know, and I dig it. I dig the level of unity. You know, we, like you said, the underground needs that, man. We all need that.
So yeah, what we're going to do is when we like have our guests on, you just give a brief introduction, who you are, where are you from, how long you've been doing music. And yeah, we will ask them the question. So right now the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I'm Odprophet, Odprophet, ODP, whichever you prefer. Fuck it, call me Susan if it makes you happy. But I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Fairfield, Vallejo, California, kind of back and forth. I have been making music since 2004. I started making music when I was 15. I did my first show in Monterey Bay when I was 16. And I've just been kind of doing it ever since. There's been a lot of changes, you know what I mean? I was in a group called Worst Possible Outcome with my brother Robbie Reap, who's actually on the label as well, working on his album behind the scenes. And so I was the group was Worst Possible Outcome. And then, you know, we kind of parted ways in life. People grow, people move on. It was no hard feelings, no issues or anything like that. We just kind of had different ideas of where the direction we were going. And that's when I met my brother Travis, my brother White Trash Travis. He used to go by Lil Sick. And so then I was in the group Dead Kids, and you know, we kind of were doing our thing. We had dropped the video. I don't know how many people are familiar with it. But we had dropped the video California Smile, and as well as like Smoke One and a few other videos, and kind of developed the label. That's when we kind of came together with a bunch of other people and developed Slaughter Visions. And you know, that was kind of, it was tough starting for me because my local scene here in Vallejo, it's popping, but here in Fairfield, it's like I don't want to say non-existent, but it's a lot of funk between different artists, and it's a lot of you know, it's just not a very loving scene. It's not very many people coming out like, yo, this is this city scene. It's people trying to be a one-man show. Mm-hmm. So when I started out, it was kind of, I had to spread around and go places to meet different people, different artists, and work with people in different cities and different states and different places. I got my real big start, you know, doing shows and stuff. I was going all the way from California to Oregon. And I was doing a lot of my shows as a teenager and a young adult in Oregon. I opened for like Tech Nine a couple times, and some names like E40, Celly Cell, Spice One, just different people from down here doing shows up there and things like that. You know, and through doing that in Nevada, I ended up meeting a lot of really cool people. That's how I met Travis. We ended up making the label. Through leaving and doing shows other places, that's how I met Doc. That's how I met Maniac, you know, and we knew each other way before like the label even started, you know, and fucking kind of, it was just a seed planted, having to leave here, you know, having to leave here, and the people I met in all these different places planted the seed that grew into what it is now. You know, and like that's pretty much my origin. I was out here, you know, making music, trying to kind of create a scene, create a lane, because there wasn't really one for me to fall into. I just started going deeper into the Bay and meeting everybody and going to other states and stuff, and you know, that's pretty much my start. You know, then Travis started doing tattooing and doing other stuff. And I started doing solo stuff. And, you know, EJ, bless my fallen brother, me and him had met, clicked, and became like peanut butter and jelly, you know. And, you know, through Ill Tricks hopping on board, and then they introduced me to them, and then all this stuff happened, and it just, everything became what it is today, you know. And that's, you know, out of the lack of a scene, that's kind of where I was born, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how Denver, Colorado used to be. Like, everyone used to try to do their own thing in their own little cliques, and people were like beefing within the city. And then Scum comes along. He's like, no, fuck that. Let's all rise together. It's like, yes.
Yeah, that's the big homie, man. I love everything he's done for you guys' scene and for the scene in general.
Yeah, I've watched LSP grow from the local label that is in Denver to like the big label that it is now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I forever appreciate all the LSP homies, man. And
you said you're from the Bay, and there's a lot of good history to come out of the Bay. Like you have E40, Too Short,
Mac Dre.
You know, Digital Underground even counts.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know Pac, you feel me, has Oakland origins. You feel me? A lot of people get it confused. Like all of that.
And then underground, you got like, of course, Kung Fu Vampire.
Yeah, that's the homie.
That dude is a beast.
He's done a lot for the scene here as well. You know, the underground scene. Shout out to the big homie. We got a joint on my album that I just dropped not that long ago. Otho. I named it after the character from Beetlejuice. But he killed that. He killed that. And the thing about that track is that I had sent that track to a few other people to get on as well. And they were just like, man, this is just too crazy. I don't know what to do with it. And I sent it to the big homie Kung Fu, and he was like, dude, I'll kill it. He killed it. So.
Oh yeah, he's mad chill. We definitely have plans to get him here on the show because he's
You should. You should. Yeah. I highly suggest it.
So what made you come up like with your rap name, and did you go by other rap names beforehand?
So when I was a youngster, when I started, I didn't have a rap name the first like 6 months of me rapping. And I was juggling between two names. It was either going to be Overdose or it was going to be Lockjaw. Right. And this is like 2004, 2005. And so I ended up going with Overdose. And for some reason, I just, I've always been really into like studying. I'm not a very religious person. I'm a very spiritual person. I've always
Same
been into,
here.
Right. I've always been into like studying what I can take and what I can learn from all the different religions and kind of disregarding all the whack shit, all the negativity, all the fucking pushing shit on people.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. You can really, there's a lot to learn from things. You don't gotta fucking latch to the whole thing, you know? And so given that I was always into like the prophets and prophecies and things like that, so I decided to go with Overdose, and I just latched the prophet on there as like my moniker, my title, Overdose the Prophet. So I was Overdose the Prophet for a long time, for up until about year and a half ago, 2 years ago, somewhere in between. I went through a lot of loss recently. I've went through a lot of loss for the past 3 years. It's been rough. It was an uncle, then one of my homies. I found out another homie passed. My aunt, my best friend, my pops just passed. And then like, so it's just like all this recent stuff is recent, but all the other stuff, it just seemed like a big catalyst in my life. You know what I mean? For some type of a change. When I was doing the Overdose the Prophet stuff, I was really big into shock rap. I've always been a big fan of like Gordy and Necro and like these artists who really pushed the bar and said stuff that just made you like, oh, like, I don't know. That was so raw, but it almost made me want to turn it off. You know what I mean? Like that pushed the bar, that like, whoa, this is grimy. This is disgusting. Like, so I really latched onto that shock rap, and I think I had this catalyst, this change in life where like my moral values came a little more into play when it came to writing. And I kind of decided like there's just certain things I don't want to rap about. You know what I mean? There's certain things that just aren't within my moral. I can rap about some really dark, gritty shit without having to rap about rape or some like something I completely morally don't agree with. Whereas back then I'd say some crazy off the wall shit. I mean, you can listen to some of Gordy's more you know, post Jesus Christ Mistress and post Jesus Christ Mistress Gordy, even a couple records before that, and you can see where he started saying some real off type crazy stuff. Now I got no problem with shock rap, but I just hit a point where I'm like, I listened to some of that stuff and I'm like, whoa, I couldn't picture myself saying something like that. And back then it didn't matter to me. Back then it was, I'm going to say the grimiest thing. I'm going to make them want to turn it off, you know, type thing. And it just, I got really more into my feelings. I started losing people, and I had so much more to say as an artist than just some morally disturbing shock rap music. And I decided kind of I wanted to kill that person off. So when I decided that, I kind of wanted to self-wise, I don't care if, you know, people bump my old shit. If you dig it, you dig it. I'm thankful. I'll always be thankful for support of anything. It's where I came from, and I'll never forget that. But I kind of just wanted a complete revamp, a complete change. And I decided let's just grind it down to Odprophet and come out as a whole new entity, a whole new being. Plus all those years of learning, like I look at Overdose the Prophet as a learning stage. It's all those years of learning that you know, it's a cocoon, it's a shell that I shed. You know, it was an experience, it's part of my path, it's part of my, you know, story. But you can't stay in a pod forever. You got to blossom. And that's kind of, you know, so I hit him in the head with a shovel and I buried him in the backyard, and kind of like Rick and Morty style, you know, he's buried in the backyard. I got a future project with a song on it called Rick and Morty, where I actually kind of like break it down that way. You know,
Oh yeah.
you know, when Rick came, they killed the Morty, and the Rick are buried. The real ones are buried in the backyard. That's where Overdose the Prophet is, a shallow grave in the back. But I will forever appreciate him and the lessons that we learned together, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I sound schizophrenic as hell, but if that makes any sense, bro. Like,
oh, it makes sense. I hear you.
You know, please don't go listen to any of that old music. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Feel free.
And it's crazy now, like when some artists, when they said something years ago and they probably don't feel that way now, people try to use that against them. It's fucked up.
I don't care. I have a view on cancel culture. Like, my view on cancel culture is they can only cancel you if you stop.
Yep.
I think I've kind of like, I learned that watching like Dave Chappelle keep going. You know what I mean? People like that, where they're just like, stop him. You can't do that. Well, here I am with another special. You didn't stop me. Like, well, here I am with another album. But I feel like as long as you're true to yourself, who cares? You know, like,
exactly.
You know, be yourself. Don't let society tell you what to do with your art. You know, like.
Agreed. Now we'll get into some of the questions. Like, if you can remember, like, what's the first piece of music that you remember hearing, like, that grasped your attention to music? It can even be the most awkward thing where you're like, what is that? Like me, it was like classic rock a lot in my home and stuff growing up, and classic rap here and there.
So not like just rap, but music in general. What's the first music that grasped me? So
yeah.
When I was a kid, I grew up on tour with the Grateful Dead. I was at Grateful Dead shows my whole childhood until Jerry Garcia died. And when Jerry died when I was 7, that's when we weren't going to Dead shows anymore. But I'd have to say the Grateful Dead, because that's my childhood. That's growing up. That's everything. That's a huge staple of my family. You know what I mean? We're all Deadheads. So that's a big part of why my group before Cerberus Clique and before me really delving into this Odprophet solo shit. I was always doing solo shit, but the Dead Kids, my old group being Dead Kids, that's a big part of why the group name was Dead Kids, because you know, it came from me being a deadhead, a kid of a bunch of deadheads, you know, and fucking raised by a family of hippies and deadheads. So I'd have to say Grateful Dead when it comes to just music in general, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was probably the very first. Very first thing. That or Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman. Because my mom went to a Oingo Boingo concert when she was pregnant with me. And then, you know, she pretty much was like, you were moving more than I've ever felt you move. And then every time, like when Nightmare Before Christmas came out, I was like drawn into the sounds and the music. And I didn't know why I was so like, oh my God, Mom, why do I love this so much? She was like, it's because it's Danny Elfman. And you've been a big fan of Oingo Boingo since before you can remember. So,
yeah, Danny Elfman is one of my favorite movie composers. Like, not only do I like music with words, I also like music that has no words, where you can feel the emotion. Like my other favorite movie composer of all time, John Williams. Who doesn't love this music to Star Wars? Or, you know, what's another good
amazing
composer?
Amazing.
Danny Elfman, he did music for the Batman movies, which was dope.
Yeah. Everything Tim Burton, pretty much that, like Danny Elfman's Tim Burton's go-to guy. Like even that new Wednesday show is all, I believe it's all Danny Elfman.
And then one of my other favorite movie composers is like Hans Zimmer. He just did music for like the movie Gladiator, which apparently there's going to be a sequel to that, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I think they did make kind of an offshoot. Or no, I'm thinking, no, they didn't. I was gonna say I never saw it, but now I thought about it, and I'm thinking 300, brother. I'm thinking 300. Yes. They made a second 300, dude. If they make a second Gladiator, that's gonna be crazy.
Like people are like, well, what's it gonna be about? I'm like, it's probably gonna, if you watch the original movie, it ends like with his friend. His friend isn't fully free from being a slave yet, so maybe it's about his friend trying to be free now.
That would be dope. That would be dope. I love movies. I'm a huge movie guy. Like, yeah.
Hell yeah. And what is like the first rap song that grasped your attention to rap music?
So the first rap that I ever heard, I was raised in a lot of different places. I'm from California, but I was in Kentucky. I used to live, or no, I was in Michigan. I used to live in a town called Dowagiac in Michigan. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky as well. That's the mix up. But and we had a lot of classic rock and like Grateful Dead and a lot of like psychedelic rock. We had a lot of Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd, all, like that around the house, but we never really had rap in the house that I was living with. My stepfather, he wasn't in the picture anymore around 9. But before that, he never played rap. We didn't experience it. And then we had some kids behind us across the street, and they had an older brother. And their older brother gave me a tape player, me and my little brother, a tape player and a pair of headphones, and Snoop Dogg Doggy Style. And that was that whole album was the first rap that I ever heard. And then shortly after that was Riddlebox had just dropped, and my uncle Isaac's friend David was super into ICP, and I was like 7, bro, and he showed me Dead Body Man, and we got in the car and we left to go home, and I fell asleep in the back seat, and I had a nightmare. Clowns were like tearing the roof off the car and snatching us all out of the car, stabbing everybody. And I woke up like, freaking out in the back seat of the car. And so I'd say, yeah, probably like Dead Body Man and Gin and Juice, bro. Like,
those are good picks.
Yeah. That was the beginning of me in rap. And West Coast and Juggalo shit.
And then did you know at the time when you heard ICP that they were from Michigan, or did you not know that at the time?
I had no clue. When I was a kid, I had no clue.
Yeah, I discovered them when I was about 7, 8, or 9, but I got into them through wrestling, but I thought they were a tag team. I'm like, oh, they're rappers, but then I started seeing them more on the news too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy looking back and thinking like I had no clue the impact that these dudes would make. I was a kid, how could I possibly know that later on in life it would be being a juggalo would be what it is. It would make the impact it had made. It would be, this community, this subculture, It's pretty dope, dude. To watch it all happen.
And I think they put all that like on the map. That it was people like them, people like Isham and all that.
Yeah.
And then on the West Coast, we had like Brother Lynch and Insane Poetry and shit.
Yeah. That's so like out here, like if you listen to dark music, like in Northern California, you listen to dark music, who Lynch is. Like we all like people in other states may have grown up on who they grew up on. If you're from Missouri, you grew up on Tech. If you like dark music, who Tech is. If you're from here and you were a kid into dark music, you were listening to Lynch, or Dre Dog before Andre Nicotina was Andre Nicotina.
Or if you were living in the South, you had Ghetto Boys and early 3-6 Mafia.
Exactly. I feel like no matter where you lived, you had 3-6 Mafia. like,
Yeah.
like
then
we
on
all
the East Coast of New York, you had Flatliners and Gravediggers.
Gravediggers. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people ask me all the time, like, who I think, who do I credit with horrorcore? Like, who do I give the creatorship to? And everybody trips when I tell them the RZA. But the RZA, in my eye, the RZA created this shit, bro. Like, that's my opinion, at least. Like, you know.
Yeah, Brother Lynch is like one of my all-time favorite rappers. He is like so underrated.
Yeah, Lynch is hard, man.
That's why I tell people, besides him just talking about gritty, dark shit, he's got like bars, like holy shit.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be a Odprophet if there wasn't a Lynch. You know what I mean? Like, Lynch is one of those rappers that's a piece of my puzzle, you know, like, so. Yeah.
Well, I hope that's one of your collabs that can happen, because when I first heard you, I'm like, damn, this dude and Lynch would sound dope together.
Thank you. That's a compliment to me. But yeah, hopefully it'll happen someday. I might have to reach
Never
out
say
to
never. I think anything's possible now. Everyone's made themselves very approachable, which is good.
Yeah, I might have to reach out to him. You know, that's all it takes nowadays, you know, is reaching out. Things aren't as difficult as they used to be.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's so easy to
simple.
get artists to come on here now. Like, sometimes if an artist or group can't come on and do a personal interview, this is another good way for them to come on and promote themselves.
Yeah.
And you would actually like this. Like, a few months ago, I actually had the honor of interviewing Lynch's like nephew, Lil Sick.
That's dope.
So you'll definitely love that episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Definitely. I want to go through. Can I was looking on your channel trying to find where like I can see old episodes of the cast. Like, how do I do that?
There's like links to it like in the description of this.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delve in, man, because I know you've probably had a lot of people on here that I'd like to hear what they had to say, man.
Oh yeah, and if you can like name your top, like, what is like your top 5 albums that like changed your life? Like, it can be a diversity, and that's always cool when our guests say that, because they're such a good diverse when some people say that.
White Zombie, Astro Creep.
Hell yeah.
Would be my very first. That's the first one. So Astro Creep changed my life majorly. I was just a little shit kid, a little snot-nosed brat. My friend's older brother got took to juvenile hall, so we broke into his bedroom. I'm sorry, dog, if you watch this. But we broke into his bedroom and went through all his CDs, and we saw, you know, the Creep. We saw the drawing of dude on the CD, and we were like, what is this? We need to listen to it. And we bumped it, and it changed my life forever. So I'd say Astro Creep changed my life. Riddlebox, definitely.
Oh.
I'd have to put Riddlebox and Doggy Style. So you said 5?
Yeah, that's 3.
So yeah, Riddlebox, Doggy Style, Astro Creep, Slipknot, self-titled.
Fuck yeah.
That's my favorite band. White Zombie and Slipknot are my favorite metal bands. Fuck, what else? What's that, 3?
That's 4.
That's 4. And then, oh God, I know there's some Mac Miller haters out there that are gonna hate me for this, but watching Mac Miller movies with the sound off. I was not a fan of Mac Miller before that album happened. I always looked at him as some like little teenage skateboard bubblegum rat before that. And then I was going through a really hard point in my life, and my homie was like, you don't like Mac Miller? You're tripping. And he put that album on, the videos from it and that album on, and I've listened to that album. I can always put that shit back on. That's one of those ones I can always bump. It was just there at a point in my life when I needed it. So, and I really appreciated his music after that. So I'd say, I know there's a lot of horrorcore heads out there that are going to be like, I can't believe he said Mac Miller. But that'd be my 5.
I love Mac Miller because he's like straight hip hop too.
Yeah. There's so many more albums that belong on this list, but that's me really having to shave the fat and like, but it's also ever changing. Who knows whose album might change my life tomorrow? You know what I mean? So
Exactly. And that's why I tell people, like, that's what's good about certain music. Like, when you hear it, sometimes you can always remember the time in your life when that song came out or what you were going through in that time. That's why music has such a great impact on a lot of us.
It builds, it latches to memories, builds memories. It's nostalgia, brother.
Like, I was just listening to Ice Cube with my girlfriend in the car, and we were like bumping, you know how we do. Oh my God, the days of just riding around with my homies in the car and us bumping this house up album on a Friday night.
Yeah, I miss it, man. I miss it. Hey, you ain't gonna get in trouble if I smoke on here, are you?
Nah, go right ahead.
I probably should have asked that a long time ago because I've been smoking the whole time. I've been like trying to hide it and shit.
This is an 18+ show. You can do whatever you want. I even smoke on here from time to time.
Okay. I've been trying to like palm it. You never know with these days and media and social media, Google, Facebook, or Meta, what have you. You never know. I'm always so careful. I'm like turning the eyes and bitch and shit into exclamation marks and stuff so I don't get banned or something, It's crazy. I remember the days when I could just make a fucking post about fucking drinking a fucking Coors Light and blowing myself and nobody cared.
Yeah, because now people are just so offended these days.
Can't do shit. What's going on in the world when you can't drink a Coors Light and blow yourself?
Right.
Shit's fucked up.
And what was actually your first clown show? When you went to your first ICP show, how was the feeling? Did you know what you were getting into, or did you not know what you were getting into and it just blew you away?
Man, I've been to so many ICP shows that it's really hard for me to put my finger on what my first show was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if they were even on my first Psychopathic show. I'm trying to remember who was they had to have been. It was Psychopathic All-Stars.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's a good tour.
That was my very first show.
I believe that was Esham, Jump Steady, ABK, and Blaze.
When I went, ROC performed and Prozac performed as well. Project Dead Man. And that was the first rapper who had a name for themselves that actually really gave me the time of day. And really shot me. Like I stood there. A lot of artists, when you walk up to their booth and stuff and start talking to them, they really are like kind of doing a lot. They're busy. They're dealing with a lot of fans. They're dealing with a lot of stuff. And they don't really invest a lot of time in conversation with you, which is a lot of the time understandable. Mm-hmm. But he just really stood there and talked to me for a long ass time, bro. And he gave me a lot of game. He told me a lot of stuff that I really, I feel like I kind of structured the way I moved after that a little bit off of. It was a really good show. I remember one thing that happened was it was in San Francisco. And there were some kids in front of me who they had bandanas on and they were sitting on the barrier in front of the stage, looking at the crowd instead of looking at the stage. And I remember I felt something moving, and I looked down and this fucking kid had his hand in my pocket, and I fucking decked him in his face and he fell off the barrier, and I was just like, wrong pocket full, and went right back to like getting it. It was a really memorable show. I remember it was so crazy back then. I remember there was ninjas in the parking lot that just brought like hella packs of Newport, like cartons of Newports. And they had cases of Faygo and they were just throwing Faygos at people and throwing packs of Newports at everybody.
Oh, I remember those days.
I remember get hit in the face with a pack of Newports. I was like, I don't even smoke. Like, it was good. The good old days, man.
Yeah, the whole thing, there was even a parties before the show. Like just waiting in the line was a party in and of itself.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Grateful Dead concerts back in my childhood days. You had Shakedown Street. So, you know, like everybody, it was like a whole nother show out in the parking lot. It was like a whole nother world out. It was like a show before the show. It's the pre-party and the after party, you know, like.
Oh yeah, and that's what me and a lot of my friends usually do before shows. We'll like pre-party, then we'll party during the show, and then we'll have an after party.
Yeah. Don't pre-party too hard though.
Exactly. And that's one thing I've always told people. Don't pre-party too hard. Party enough to where you can still enjoy yourself and enjoy the show and not make an ass of yourself.
Yeah, edibles taught me that.
Oh, lovely edibles.
Oh, they'll teach you some life lessons.
They have. I've had outer body experiences from that shit.
My 30th birthday was a nightmare. There's been shows that I didn't do. I had my uncle come to me. So we have a friend of the family who started a edible company that's like one of the most well-known edible companies now. And there's a product that they don't make anymore called the Black Bar. And my uncle can get them because that's like a good friend of all of my uncles. So my uncle came, I'd never had one, and he came to me with this Black Bar, this fucking super edible. And I'm used to like, oh yeah, give me the whole tray of cookies. I'll just eat the whole thing. Fuck it. And like, he was like, what are you doing? He handed it to me and I was like, I'm going to eat this whole thing. I got a show to do later. I'm about to get lit. And he was like, don't do it. He was like, just eat a corner of it or something. Don't do it. And I kind of laughed at him because I didn't think he was serious. I was just like, I'm going to eat this whole thing. And he was like, then you're not going to do a show. I ate the whole thing. Next thing you know, I'm on the couch like, like, oh, what's happening? Like I'm having out of body experience or like sleep paralysis while I'm awake. I don't know what's going on. And needless to say, I didn't do the show. I just like freaked out forever. I had at my 30th birthday, a friend made me a brownie and it was huge. And he showed up and told me just to eat a piece. And we threw a roast in San Jose, California at this place called Back Bar Sofa Lounge. It was like the place everybody does shows in San Ho for a long time. And I ate the whole thing. And I swear my skin turned gray and my facial hair was all like looked gray, like it was matching my skin. I could barely talk. Everybody was looking at me like, damn, that fool looks like he's on heroin. Like it was bad.
That or you were turning into a zombie.
Dude, straight up. It was a roast. So everybody was on stage doing performances and roasting me. I didn't hear anything. Like, I don't remember hearing anybody roast me. My brother Travis told me, he said, you were walking around asking everybody, why is everybody talking shit about me? It's all a roast. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know, dude. I think I have like a healthy fear of edibles now. It's taught me, the edibles aren't good pre-party material, brother.
No, they're not.
They're not friendly pre-party material.
Yeah, well, if your family or friends still have that edible company, if they want some sponsorship, I'll sponsor them.
Oh, they do. They still have it, but he's like, it's his shit's completely blown up, huge, like fucking. Oh, see, when you want to smoke, but you lost your lighter. I found it though. I'm in luck.
And what are some of your favorite like places like to perform at? Like, what's some of your favorite cities? And when you go to certain cities, what's a restaurant that you recommend people trying?
Okay, so this is a sad story. My favorite city, like I've always called my home away from home, What's been my favorite city to perform in for a long time, it's always been Reno, Nevada, where my brothers Ill Tricks are from, and it's Sue. Oh my God, it's Sue. And Trey, Xavier, a bunch of the homies. And the place is they got a little casino called the Little Nugget, and in the back of the Little Nugget is this little like when you walk in there, you're like, do I really want to eat here? Little back of the hole in the wall in the back of the casino diner. But they make this burger called the Awful, and it's huge, bro. It's huge. This burger's like, you could split it into 3 meals. You know, it's huge, and it's on like 2 pounds of French fries.
God damn.
It's just the biggest, most amazing burger I've ever had in my life. So every time I've drove to Reno just to get an Awful. Like every time I've ever gone there, I've got one. It's like a pastime. It's a Slaughter Visions pastime. It's a SV pastime. Every time we've ever gone on tour, the whole tour, we're just like, I can't wait till we get to Reno. Like, and you know, it's just the most amazing burger. And unfortunately, they closed it down.
Damn.
I believe during the beginning of the pandemic. They shut it down, so no more Awful, and it makes me cry. It's sad. It's bad.
In Colorado, like I'm actually in Florida right now, but in Colorado, there's like a lot of good like Mexican restaurants out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good there's like a lot of good Mexican joints in like California, but like in Colorado, you know you're in Colorado because we put green chili on everything.
What would you suggest for the next time I'm in around Denver or in Colorado? What Mexican food joint would you suggest?
Las Pomos and Los Arcos, and then Santiago's is like a little family chain restaurant joint. It's really good. Or just go eat any place that sells street tacos downtown.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to check those out. I feel like Denver's gonna become another home away from home.
It's a good place to perform. Like the music scene there is like really tight knit, and just shows are dope. And no matter who you see, you got to at least see a show at Red Rocks at least once. I've seen ICP there, and I've seen Tech Nine there.
Everybody keeps telling me. My big homie Woody just told me the other day. He was like, "So have you been to Red Rocks?" I believe that I probably have when I was a kid to see the Dead, but I don't remember. So he was talking about we got to go to a show up there when I come up there. So that's exciting. I definitely want to go do that.
Oh, and another good restaurant in Colorado is Casa Bonita.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I gotta go to Casa Bonita.
Yeah, especially if you've watched South Park.
Dude, it trips me out though. So Oogie Boogie, my brother Thomas, my brother Oogie Boogie, is from Greeley. So I go to Greeley.
I used to live an hour from there.
Yeah. Well, I had never been there, and we pull in, and it's like, you know, it just looks like a big cow pasture on both sides of us, and there's smoke billowing everywhere, and it stinks, bro. It was the worst smell ever. And he's all, "Do you know what that is?" And he explained to me that they burn off the blood, and that's what that was. And I was like, "Dude, this place is hell." and he was like, "Yeah," he was telling me about it. And the whole time we drove into town and drove through, I was like, what does this remind me of? Why is this familiar? Why does this look familiar to me and feel, and the name sounds familiar? And then I come home and I'm watching South Park and I didn't remember, but the episode comes on when they all get like, they all got to go to fucked up foster homes in like the worst town ever. And I'm watching it's all Greeley, Colorado, dude. And I died. I had to hit them up. I was like, "Yo, EJ, yo, Boogie, I didn't realize that the town is uptown from South Park, dog." And that's why looks like when they come into Greeley, when it first shows Greeley,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like Greeley.
Well, that's why I always laugh
was bad.
because, like, when I watch South Park, like a lot of my friends from out of state will ask me, they're like, "I don't get this reference." I'm like, "Well, I'm from Colorado, so I get the reference. That's why it's more funnier to me."
Yeah, yeah. The amount of love in Denver was amazing. Gorefest was amazing. Everybody just blew me away with the love. Like I was having, I got anxiety issues and shit like that, and I was having, a little bit of anxiety. I hadn't performed in a long time. I kind of took a break from music to focus on production, beats, and stuff like that for a while. And then the pandemic and all that. So I hadn't done a show in a long time. And just everybody's love and the energy there just really fucking helped me just slide through, and I had a really good time. It was cool. It was medicine, bro. It was the energy there was medicine. I met a lot of really cool people that are family to me now. You know what I mean? My little brother Worm and the homie Grim Jones and just a whole bunch of people, dude. It was my first time at Gorefest. The energy's amazing. I hope.
Oh yeah, and I tell people Gorefest is literally dedicated to the underground and the horror scene, and it's hard to believe it's been going on for 16 years already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I love when Scum, like whenever he's not performing, he actually shows support to the other acts. He's actually in the crowd, observing, getting live with everyone. Being very respectful. That's what people need to do.
Yeah. It's this community's had too much disrespect, toxic bullshit. That's the kind of breaks we need. That's the kind of shit we need. You know what I mean? That level of love, camaraderie, you know what I mean? Respect.
Exactly. And people have always told me that, like about Scum, they're like, when you hear his music, you think he's an intimidating dude or you're afraid to approach him. And then when you do approach him, he's like the most chill, humble dude in the world.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's always been chill. I remember doing shows in Reno with him back in the day and fucking, he's always been cool to kick back with and fucking drink a little Jaeger and chop it up about shit and fucking.
Oh yeah, I've learned a lot from this business just through him and Insane Poetry. When those two give you lessons and lectures on this business, you sit and you listen.
Yeah, but you always got to listen to the people that have been around this for a long time because they've been through through those experiences. I try to tell young rappers that I'm like trying to, teach how to not run into different problems and mistakes and things. I try to teach them their way around bumps that they might hit and things like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times I've gotten responses like, "Hey, I know already, you're fuck off," or whatever. And what I dig about the OGs and people that have fed me a lot of game is coming up and as a youngster in this music shit and all that, is the way I look at it is there's this path. There's these stepping stones, metaphorically speaking, there's these stepping stones, right? But it's all overgrown. Now, if I've went through years and years of having to chop these weeds out of the way and make a path I can walk through and learn how to, maneuver this, you're going to have to do that too. And what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to let you walk behind me. You know what I mean? And you can, I've cleared this out already, bro. Here, let me feed you this knowledge. This is how this works. So you don't have to take a year stumbling, making mistakes, or learning things the hard way. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of that's how I feel when OGs give me game. You know what I mean? That's how I feel when people put me up on things and let me know. As a youngster, I feel like there's a lot of times I've soaked something up that maybe helped me not take a loss. You know what I mean? Or helped me, put myself in the right direction.
Yeah, and I've even gotten like props from like people that I've looked up to, and everyone, you could probably say this, when the people you look up to start giving you props and respect, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
Yeah, definitely. It was such a good feeling to catch praise from the OG Insane Poetry at Gorefest. Like, You know, he was up there talking about how he, you know, had a good time watching us or whatever, and that just, I was like, man, you know, like it was one of those moments. So I love that. I love that, man. I love that recognition from people that you never, you know, expected way back when were ever going to give you that recognition. Like, why would he know? Why would he, you know, bump my music or whatever, you know?
And that's how I am, like with my like show, like a few years ago, like ICP like name dropped me on their show. They're like, shouts to these YouTube jugglers who keep doing their thing. They're like Don Chaos. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah, like that reminds me, like a couple years back or whatever, I had I'm a big fan of Ill Bill.
Fuck
and
yeah.
I had made a comment about something that happened when I was a youngster, and Scam, I don't know if you're familiar with who Scam 2 is, but Scam's my favorite artist. He's the artist that did like the cover art for like Eminem's Slim Shady LP and shit. Like he's just done so much art and for so many people, you know what I mean? And he's just so fire. And he shared my comment on Ill Bill shit, and I was just like, I know that that's not like recognition of what I do or whatever, but when a big person even fucking mentions you, it's like, damn, like how did this happen? And that's almost comparative to like, you know, to that, you know what I mean? But
I love Ill Bill. Like my all-time favorite Ill Bill song is Cult Leader.
Oh, dude, you're gonna have to let me show you something real quick then. Give me 1 second, brother.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this right here is my all-time favorite sweater that I own. It's fucking...
Oh, that is fresh.
The motherfucking Cult Leader, bro.
That is dope.
That's what the comment was in the comments for that sweater when he redropped it. And I was talking about when I was like 12 or 13. I love my mother. Don't go judging my mom. She's a fucking saint. But my mom's a gangster, bro. So, but I ordered, I had my mom let me order a bunch of gear when I was like 12 or 13. I was probably 13 off Ill Bill's site, and he had put out a fucking porno DVD, right? I don't know if you remember that or if anybody remembers that, but he had put out this adult film, this adult DVD. And my mom didn't give a fuck. My mom's gangster as shit. You know what I mean? It's whatever. I was in the hood. I was a little shit. Anyways, she let me order that shit. My mom let me order that shit. My mom's a saint. My mom let me order that shit. And a couple shirts. The shirts came, but the DVD never did. Right? I told my mom, I was like, Mom, my DVD never came. So my mom wrote Necro. And she said, my son ordered your porno DVD and he never got it. And she was like, I think it's horrible. He's your biggest fan. And I think it's horrible that you would not send your biggest fan his porno DVD. She just went on this big rant. Keep in mind, I was like 13, bro. And so I told that story. I was like, I wonder if Necro remembered me. I was like, I was the kid whose mom messaged, like, where's my son? My son's your biggest fan. Where's his porno? And Scam fucking screenshotted it and shared it as his story and on his page and shit. And that was just like, I was like, oh my God. Like, dude, it was one of those moments, bro. But yeah, that's a fucked up story. My mother's a saint.
And that's one thing I like about Ill Bill and Necro is they both originally come from like heavy metal backgrounds.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like, I always loved rap. Like, I always loved rap, but I was always really into metal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I've always been into like rap, rock, metal, just like any straight like rap, you know, rock. That's like the two things of music that has always like touched me. But I'm always open to hear other type of music if it grasps my attention. Cool. If it doesn't, okay.
I feel like there's good music, though a lot of people wouldn't want to admit it about some genres. There's good music in almost every genre. There's something, with substance that's listenable. Like even people hate country. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of country, but there's a lot of country music I like. I just like that old outlaw shit.
Exactly. That's how I am. I tell people I like country, but I don't like new country. I'm like,
it's pop.
I like old country from like the 90s and the 80s and all that, like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash and all that.
Exactly. Outlaw shit, Highwayman and, like fucking Waylon Jennings, like, shit like that. Country's not bad. It gets a bad rap because pop took it over.
Yep. Or you have some of these country rappers, people trying to be rappers, but they're like trying to like go over like a rap instrumental instead of like country instrumentals. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I got mixed feelings about the whole country rap scene.
I do too. There's some that do it good, and then some people you're just like, just stop.
There's also, if you really pay attention to some of it, there's like little bits of racism like in and out of some of it. I'm not saying all of it. I love Yellow Wolf, Jelly, Struggle. Like there's country rap that I dig, but then there's other shit that I'm kind of like, Like I was showing my old boss at a job, Yella. He had never heard Yella, and so he was like, "This is really good. Let me show you something." And he put on some country rapper, and in the hook, the dude was talking about like not liking the skin color and missing the old when everybody was white. And dude, and I was like, nah, bro, this isn't it. And he was like, what? This is you just played some country rap. And I was like, no, bro, like the rapper I was playing isn't talking a bunch of racist weird shit. I was like, I don't want to listen to this. And he got butthurt kind of. He was like, He's like, I can listen to their stuff. You can't listen to mine. I was like, well, I'm not trying to listen to some racist music. Like, so that's my only problem with the whole. I feel like some of those people are doing it because they didn't like rap in the first place. And they're just like, I'm going to take this and make it my bitch. Like, I don't know.
I've seen Yellow Wolf live. He is dope. I saw him at the Gathering 2018. That was a great performance.
Yeah, Yellow's fire. I've been listening to Yellow Wolf since Stereo, a tribute to classic rock. Like, he's dope. I fuck with Yellow.
I just got my fiance into him. She's like, wow, this guy's good. He can sing. He's got bars.
Yeah, he could do all of that. Yeah, Yellow's fire.
Yeah, his famous Gathering 2018 performance where people were throwing bottle rockets at him on stage and he was still performing and took it like a champ. That's cool.
He was in a war zone.
Yeah, and he still
like a soldier.
Yeah, and he didn't walk off stage. Neither did his band. He was actually encouraging it. He's like, "Hell yeah, you guys are the livest crowd I've ever performed in front of. Hell yeah."
That's insanity, bro.
Yeah, no one's ever seen Yellow
Tequila me. I'm gonna perform the Gathering with a shirt on that says "Don't Tila Tequila me" with a picture of Tila Tequila after she got pelted. Bro, watch people throw shit at me just because of that. Fuck yeah, brother.
Another great performance I seen was Immortal Technique. That dude's got bars. Like, he's very conscious. Like, his stuff makes you think, Vinny Paz.
Yeah, Immortal Technique's fire. That's another one. Like, if you're into like that conscious dark underground shit,
I am.
You know who Immortal Technique is. Like, that's another, like, you gotta know. Like, that shit, he's dope.
Another artist that some people should know about. Like, I've come across people who didn't know who MF Doom was. I'm like, what? I know.
You should have told them to slap themselves.
I did. I just said, slap yourself and get the hell out of here.
Leave. The door's over there. Right. Yeah, I believe you'd get kicked out of my house for not knowing who MF Doom is. God.
And that's like how we were talking about earlier, like where artists used to do like their own little clique. Things like Wu-Tang used to do it. You would have a Wu-Tang Clan album, but then everyone out and release solo albums. That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's cool that you guys are doing that too, where you guys release group projects and then you guys are releasing your own individual projects while being on each other's projects to show supports. It's like that very tight-knit posse. It's like back in those days.
I feel like it's good because everybody needs to be able to, like, even if you're in a group, everybody needs to be able to do something that's a full expression of themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody needs that opportunity to make something that's them. That's an expression of themselves. I think it's important. You know what I mean? It's cool to work on a team, you know what I mean? But you got to sharpen your swords, you know what I mean? And keep yourself battle ready, and you got to be able to get your demons off your chest or your, you know, monkeys off your back or whatever, however you would put it, you know. And I've been doing the solo shit for so long. I just did all kinds of mixtapes. What I gotta say, really, when it comes to me, is like Doc, Maniac, EJ, and Boogie really lit a fire under my ass. I've always, like, back in the day, I was taking beats that I didn't own, making mixtapes with them. I've got like fucking 14 to 18 random mixtapes I hate floating around the internet somewhere. Don't go find them. I'm just kidding. But you know, so I was always doing the solo shit. I just wasn't interested in it enough I wasn't taking it as serious as I should have been. I wasn't like, but I guess that's all, like I said, that's time spent sharpening my swords. I'm not proud of a lot of that shit. I don't like a lot of that shit. Like, really, I don't like any of that old shit. I feel like the years in between then and now was like a 5-year period before I started, you know, really putting shit out serious again, instead of just producing music serious. So, you know, watching what EJ and Boogie were doing, watching what Salem alumni were doing and Ill Tricks were doing, and them do it the right way, and watching them, you know, kind of got me to wanting to do things the right way. Then they were like, yo, it's not fucking hard. You know what I mean? They were like, we'll show you everything. It's not fucking hard. And they kind of just lit a fucking fire under my ass, bro. Like, they straight lit a fire under my ass, bro. And so I think it's cool. At that point, I was solo, and I wasn't during the like creating Cerberus Clique. I wasn't officially a member, to my knowledge, to my capacity. And then I came up to Reno to visit them, and we went to the homie Todd's house, and they were all getting their Cerberus tats. And I was like, just wanting to like represent my label mates, represent what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I tossed Todd my money and said, yo, you're gonna slap one on me too. And they all looked at me like I'm a dumbass. They were like, I'm just gonna get one to support. They're all, well, why the fuck wouldn't you? You're part of the group. You know what I mean? And I was like, hey, like, you know. So, you know, my plans were solo anyways, and then Cerberus kind of just happened. It lit up like a wildfire, and I was a part of it. So, you know, that's before we really jammed out and started forming everything that it is today. And I'm happy to see my brothers that are from groups doing their own thing as well. I'm very excited to. Doc's killing it. First of all, I got to give mad love to my bro. Seeing him do that solo album, you know, it was really cool to see him, you know, do something that's straight him, and from his soul. You know what I mean? I can't wait for Maniac shit to drop. Maniac shit is fire. You guys aren't ready for that. Fucking, you know, EJ and Boogie's solo projects were amazing. You know, one thing I can't get over about Gorefest and about, I'm sorry, I'm getting like a little off topic, but I want to get this off my chest. One thing I can't really get over about Gorefest, I'm so happy about the love. I'm so happy about everything. But it's hard for me to think that that's the only time that anybody's going to be able to see Cerberus Clique as a whole. I mean, minus Bankard, but as long as those beats are playing, Keith's there, Bankard's there. But like as per rappers, you know what I mean? Now that we lost my brother, we lost my brother EJ. I miss that motherfucker every single day. But he's always with us. It's like that's the only performance. We're always gonna perform, tour. There'll always be Cerberus Clique shows. This is just the beginning, but that's what makes it bittersweet. Is that this is just the beginning, but it's also the end for all of us on stage rocking it together. But he's there in spirit with us every time, no matter what. You know what I mean? So fucking hey, I just figured out how to see the comments. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
People. I was in private chat on here, but Ben Tolkien just said Voltron of the underground.
That's what I've been saying. You guys are the Voltron of the underground.
Fire. It's crazy because we're all from so many different places. We're in Illinois, Colorado, Nevada, California. We're just we do come together like Voltron. You know what I mean? We come together like butt cheeks, bro.
Or they come together like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, like a Megazord, bro. That's what we are. Hey, Boogie would love that.
Hey, I grew up on Power Rangers.
Shit,
that
that's
was
the
my
homie
shit.
Woody.
Hell yeah.
My bad.
Oh,
I didn't realize that was Woody. It got me excited. Yeah, I grew up on Mighty Morphin, bro. Yeah, Boogie's a crazy Power Rangers collector. That fool's collection. When I went up there to do Gorefest, I went in the garage, just piles of Power Rangers shit, all masks, and then you got the White Ranger mask, bro.
Rest in peace, Tommy, the Green and White Ranger.
Yeah, he's up there kicking it with EJ right now.
Yep,
wherever they are.
And what's cool is that dude became a real MMA mixed martial artist fighter for real.
Yeah, wasn't he training people?
Yep.
I believe, yeah. That's amazing.
Yep. But yeah, what else do you want to plug in? It seems like you guys got a lot that you have looking forward to in 2023 and beyond, because you guys know you got the support here on the Hours of Chaos podcast.
Man, so in March, I'm going to be dropping a project called The Lord of the Flies. So keep your eyes out for that. I already dropped the first single off it, Big Thuggin' with my bro EJ. I kind of dropped it a little earlier than planned because I really wanted to put something out with my bro because of the situation and what had happened. And I had dropped a single, Lost. It was my newest video I had dropped. So peep that. Anybody out there watching, those are really important to me. Me and Doc shit is about to drop on the 31st, Death Cult. I really want to plug that because it's so different. It's just it's a different vibe for both of us. And we're both really big nu metal heads. And I scream in music a lot, but I've been to a point where like I experiment with it and don't put music out. And then he's been screaming. So we've been kind of cooking with some kind of nu metal-ish vibes more and bouncing off each other. You're probably going to hear a lot more screaming from the both of us in the future, but it's just a whole different vibe. It's a really good project. It's just the first half. It's just the first album. And then we're going to be dropping the second half, Death Gods. So really keep an eye out for that one.
Definitely hit me up. I'll book a spot for both of you to come on and promote it together.
Yeah, that would be fire. I'm always down. Hit me up anytime.
Book yeah.
So we got that dropping. Maniac's got Animaniac. That's gonna be coming out. It's gonna be coming up, and that is smacking. Boogie's working on something right now. I'm not going to say names because I don't know if he put that out there yet. But Boogie's working on something. I believe it's just about finished, and it is amazing. I've got a lot coming up. 2023. Cerberus Clique. You know, we're coming with Book of the Dead. January, and this shit's gonna be insane. So that's really right there. Everything else I said is icing on the cake. The cake is this Cerberus Clique project. That's the biggest thing to keep your eyes out for. Pre-order that joint. If you want to hear all of us whiling together, you know what I mean, pre-order that joint. That's that Voltron album. You know what I mean? All these other things are just little parts. You know, we're all doing our thing, but that shit's fire. Also, Doc's working on King in Yellow. The homie Sue's cooking some shit up. That's the newest member of Slaughter Visions. Oh my God, it's Sue. I gotta plug the homie. That's family. That's bro. Please go peep him out. He's got an album out right now called Bubble Baths and Blowjobs. It's fire. He's working on another one right now that's going to be fire. Expect me and him. I'd also like to plug the little homies UFO, Lo-Fi and Trey Xavier. Yeah. That's like, there's so much more I could say, but that, you know, keep your eye out for all the homies. Shouts out to everybody else that supports us and shows us love. Shouts out to Mission Infect. Shouts out to LSP. Shouts out to the homie Sleep Lyrical. Shouts out to just everybody we fuck with, everybody we rock with, everybody that rocks with us. Shouts out to Vile House. That's family. That's family. You know, Kid OD, Worm, Grim Jones, just everybody Vile House. You know, it's all love. It's all love. It's all gravy.
Oh yeah, and you guys are always all welcome here back on the show anytime. Anytime you guys ever want to come on and promote something, just hit me up.
Hell yeah. And yeah, if you ever want me on, reach out, and that'd be really dope to get, you know, me and the guys on. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if it'd be a bunch of little windows or what.
I think you can have a total of 10 people on here, which is cool.
We just got to orchestrate it to where we're not all talking over each other and shit. There's like a lot of us. But yeah. Hey, I also got a shout out to Inf Gang, to all my Inf Gang homies. There's so many more people. I'm starting to think of all kinds of people that I could go on forever. If I forgot you, I love you. I apologize. There will be a next time.
Hell yeah, and I actually talked to Doc about this too, so I'm going to let you know I'm actually trying to put together like an annual event, and this is going to be like an annual event that like brings the underground together, and it's going to be called Karma Fest. And what we do is we're going to have like artists come and perform, and every year is going to go like for a good cause. So we're like spreading good karma. So one year might be for charity or kids in need or disabled veterans, and if you want to come and perform that, let me know.
Hey, it sounds good to me. Where would it be? Would it be in Colorado? You said you're in Florida right now.
It would probably be Florida, and it would probably be in the fall, because fall here in Florida is not too hot or cold. It's just right.
Okay.
But I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm just trying to look for a venue, but it's something I want to do, and it's something I want to do to bring back the underground and saying, yeah, we're all in this together, and we're all just spreading that good karma, hence why it's called Karma Fest.
Yeah, that's a perfect name for that. Yeah, I'd definitely be down, bro. In the future, that'd be something we got to map out, but you know,
because in the community, I'm known as the Karma Millionaire. I like to give back, and I never ask for anything in return. I'm like, nope, I'm just helping put you on. That's all I love to do.
Well, man, the underground needs more people like you, bro.
And that's
we
why
need more Don Chaoses in the underground, man.
And even Scum has told me that. He's like, yeah, us artists play our group, but it's you, the podcasters and the interviewers, that allow us to come on so we can promote ourselves and you guys promoting us. You guys play your part too.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Somebody's got to bring us all together, and somebody's got to give us, we rap, we're putting out music and stuff, but we need these moments to really tell you who we are. You know what I mean? We do through the music, but there's a lot to say. There's a lot to fit in to an album,
Exactly. And I'll like binge watch interviews like with podcasters who interview people I'll like, oh, what's this artist up to now? And I think that's why I always tell my guests, you're always welcome on here more than once, because then it's cool to see, oh, here's what that artist was doing in that time and here's what they're doing now. It's cool.
And it's cool because we already got a lot of the, who am I, my origins, and just a lot of the base questions out of the way. That gives us a chance to really just open it up and chop it up with each other and have a good time, maybe talk about our opinions on what's going on and in the scene and stuff like that. Other things we didn't get to cover the first time,
Exactly.
I enjoy that. I enjoy just getting on and hanging out.
And that's pretty much how I've always made my show. It's just like chilling, talking to a homie. I'm not like those typical interviewers where they ask pressuring questions and shit.
Yeah, I don't mind the pressure, but some people do. But I feel like if you're a good person, honest person, there's not much, that could, there's not too much pressure that can be had. It's just, it is what it is. There's not much negative to talk about. So.
Oh shit, we have Chuckles in the chat.
Hey, that's the homie. What's up, brother? Hey, Chuckles. Me and Chuckles. So I did my first show in the Bay Area in years. At Britannia Arms in Cupertino. A lot of dope people I haven't seen in forever there, but the homie Chuckles was there, and me and Doc had dropped a track off of Sick off of our the first part of our album, and there's like heavy screaming on the hook, but I had to spit the other parts, so I was just letting the screaming on the hook. I was gonna let it go. I'm up on stage and I start it. Next thing you know, the hook's gonna start, and Chuckles is up on stage screaming his fucking lungs out, dude. And I was like, dude, it gave me this burst of like energy and like, that's love. The homie's here. He's just got me. You know what I mean? Shout out Chuckles. Thank you for hopping up there. We got to do some shit in the future. But it was just cool. It was that family love. It was, and it gave me this burst of energy. I was, I had just done a bunch of tracks. I was like, let's go. You feel me? Let's hit this. The homie killed that shit.
And it's cool how you said you're from the Bay Area. That's kind of where my fiance, where she grew up. She grew up in the Bay Area / Central California, but she But she grew up a little bit in San Francisco.
Yeah, I've been running around San Francisco, fucking just doing whatever since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Hop on BART and pop out in Frisco and just run around. I love the city. And Oakland. I love Oakland and San Francisco. Those two cities are forever a part of who I am.
Yeah, Chuckles is dope. We've definitely had him on the show. Like we've had like Miss Sadosha from Grim Reality Entertainment like on the show. And that's another label that's been going off and popping is Grim Reality Entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Shout out to them.
Fuck yeah.
There's a lot of cool shit going on. It's cool because I feel like we're coming out of a kind of a really like chaotic time for the underground.
Exactly. There's like now a lot of artists and like people like me that are starting to promote that unity again. It's like, who cares what camp you fuck with? Let's just make dope music.
What's psychotic is that the dust is starting to settle and it's beautiful. But what's psychotic is that it could take a decade for the dust to settle. It's
exactly, because there are YouTubers who still try to feed off this negative shit. I'm glad I'm not one of those that does that.
A lot of them, and I'm not gonna say any names, but there's a couple that like if I saw them in public, I don't know. I had to get a piece of my mind.
Well, I definitely got y'all's back.
A piece of my mind. My mind is in my fist. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like that shit. I feel like it's sad enough that it took 10 years for the dust to settle. It's sad enough that people don't want to let bygones be bygones. You know what I mean? There's people out there who would stop supporting you over who you support. Not based off of someone being a bad person, but based off of who someone told you should or shouldn't support or listen to. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's, if you look at where we came from, look at how beautiful this shit was. It's just sad, bro.
Like, remember, a lot of people, I always tell people, remember back in those days when you had the three big powerhouses? You had Psychopathic, Suburban Noise, and then Strange Music.
Yeah.
And then you had like RLP, Real Life Productions, and all that.
And the three main houses all fucked with each other on some level or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were always on each other's albums. I always said if all three of those labels did a tour, I thought of the perfect name for it. It would be called the Psycho Strange Noise Tour.
That shit would have been dope. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been crazy to watch. It's like, but it's also like, you know, you got to tear something down to rebuild it. You can't build a good foundation on a foundation that's already fucked off, you know, like, so in a sense, it's like, you know, things fell apart, but that's given us room to create something beautiful.
Exactly. And I want to show people that there are talented people out there. There's still good talent in there, like people like you that have talent and potential. And I love that. And I see that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody else out there with talent and potential that's, you know, fucking pushing. I'm gonna add another random shout out to my brothers at Scythe Note as well. Those are the homies. Shout out to 2HK. Shout out to the homie Fernie Fern. Shout out to fucking Demented Nature, Sasquatch Josh, and Alex Demented. I'm just tossing them out there as they come, bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And before we let you go, can the Hours of Chaos podcast and Carnival Spirits get a shout out?
Yes, sir. I was waiting for that till the end. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Don Chaos. Shout out to the Hours of Chaos and Carnival Spirits for having me on here, for representing, for helping to unify and helping to bring the underground together. We need more people like y'all. Thank you.
Hell yeah. And like I said, you guys are always welcome on here. Just let me know and I will book a spot for all you guys.
Just hit me. And then if I got something, if I want to chop it up or got something, I'll reach out to you too. Let's go. I'm with it.
Hell yeah. You guys need promo down here. I got you guys.
I always appreciate it. We always appreciate it. From me, from Cerberus Clique.
Hell yeah.
I speak for all of us because I know we all appreciate it. We all appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate what you guys are doing too. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You have a great night, man.
Yeah, but you too. Thanks for having me on. Also, last but never least, shout out to everybody supporting us on this podcast, everybody that watched, everybody that's in the comments, dropping love. I see you all. I see you all. I love you
and
all.
As we say here, Cerberus or die.
Yes, Cerberus or die. Slow.
Yeah, and before we let you go, I love how you guys came up with that, because me being that I'm a quarter Greek, I get where that quote comes from.
Yes.
Because I study my Greek mythology, and I'm a quarter Greek, so I'm like, fuck yes.
It's beautiful, and it's cool because like there's 7 of us, and I kind of look at each 2 of us as a head. You know what I mean? And then I kind of look at Keith, you know, as the ferryman, you know what I mean? I kind of look at Keith as the, you know, the one bringing people across, you know what I mean, with the music. So it's just all, I don't know. It's all just, it's really dope how it came together. I love Greek mythology and just like mythology in general. So I'm happy you appreciate it. And I suggest anybody that doesn't understand it to look their shit up, look into it, and, you know, find their understanding of it, because it's dope.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely have a great night, man. Much love and respect.
Yes, sir. All right, Don Chaos. You have a good night, too. Much
Later.
love to you and yours.
Later. Hell yeah. That was ODP, y'all. Fuck yeah. What's up, Chuckles? Thank you for joining, Chuckles. How you doing, Mr. Chuckles? How are you tonight? Hashtag Underground Unity. I see you there in the chat, no living. Again, me and the artist, we are really promoting that. Underground Unity. Underground Unity. So yeah, let's get into some few topics. And then we're going to go ahead and announce who our guest is going to be tomorrow, because we actually have a guest lined up tomorrow on the Hours of Chaos podcast. You know, it's going to be a pretty busy weekend. We got an Hours of Chaos podcast tomorrow. Man, you guys are spoiled. We keep this going, and we're just having fun with it. And we love promoting people and giving back to the underground. Hashtag Underground Unity, y'all. Anywho, for our first topic, well, like I said, we have a busy weekend. You guys have an Hours of Chaos podcast tomorrow as well. And then probably New Year's Eve, you'll get a little Loving Chaos New Year's Eve podcast with me and my soulmate, Lady Chaos. I love you, babe. Yeah, we'll do that. Probably just ringing in the new year, and we're going to just talk about the cool highlight of our year, because, you know, 2022 has been a pretty crazy year, but we're not going to talk about the negative shit that happened in 2022. We're going to talk about the positives that came out in 2022, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to just bring up all the negative shit that happened in 2022, when there was a lot of good stuff that's happened as well. You know, there's a lot of good music. You know, I had a lot of great stuff happen in 2022, you know. A lot of good life-changing stuff. You know, everyone's just going to do their streams, maybe talking about all the negative shit that come out. No, we're going to just talk about all the positive shit. Hashtag rebuild YJC, for those that get it. You know, hashtag underground unity. Yeah. Take that negative stuff that happened this year, and even stuff that happened 3 or 4 years ago or 10 years ago, and leave it behind. Leave it behind. Stop bringing it up. Yeah. Let it go. Anywho, let's get into one of our first topics of the night. Last night, or today, mind you, the bro Ouija Mac announced an annual event, because you guys know a few years ago he did a show called Death by Denver, and he said he might take this as an annual event. People are wondering, is this new Ouija Mac show, is this like the Death by Denver show? And I believe it is, because I remember him saying that he wanted to make it an annual thing, but every year he wanted to like have it in a different state. So the last year was Death by Denver. This year, it's still the same show, but I think he's always going to like come up with a clever name for whatever city or state he's performing in. This year, he is performing, let me pull up the flyer, in Columbus, Ohio. And the show is going to be called, it says, the first annual Juggalo, which I still think this is going to be like his Death by Denver thing that he's going to do annually. Well, he's going to do it in a different city or state and just try to come up with a clever name. last year he did Death by Denver for 2 days. So who knows? This might even be a 2-day event as well. And his set was different for both 2 days in Denver. He didn't have the same set. Both nights he performed a very different set, which is dope. That's one thing I always loved about Ouija Live is he'll perform the hits and the tracks that people love, but he'll also, his set always changes. And I love that. Because, he has such a wide variety and so much music. This is why he's one of the hardest people working in the game. We have Cerberus Clique and all of them doing big things, Hell yeah. You have LSP, they doing big things, We have GRE, Grim Reality Entertainment, doing all these big things. Fuck yeah. But yeah, Ouija Mac is doing the first annual Juggalo Ohio, and I think that's, even though people are saying, is this going to always be in Ohio? No, I think this is going to always be like in a different city or state, and he's just going to probably come up with a clever name for it. Because, last year he had Death by Denver. Now this year it's Jug Ohio. And not only is Ouija performing, Devereaux is going to be in the building. And not only Devereaux, Swamp Society, but also Swamp Society's also own the straight other Swamp Aloe, repping down here in Florida. Darby O'Trill is going to be performing there. And of course, Death Plus. Shout outs to Death Plus. We definitely need to get Death Plus here on the show. We've had Darby here on the show. Salute to Darby and Dev. We'd have them on the show. Swamp Society, y'all. And then, of course, Chapter 17's latest edition, Hex, representing that West Coast wicked shit, is going to be performing. Fuck yes. And it's going down January 27th. Fuck yes. So if you live in Ohio or in the Columbus area, or if you're going and visiting Ohio from out of state, go to this show. Fuck yeah. Chapter 17, We Are All the Pages. Also, if you guys seen the Hours of Chaos podcast this past Thursday, we had Frankie Goldie on. He was dropping some knowledge on y'all. Some of y'all heard and you thought it was just craziness, but Frankie Goldie was dropping bombs and straight knowledge on you motherfuckers. If you don't know, and I don't think the world is ready for this. I saw that we had Acetone in the chat earlier. I don't know if he still is. What is good, Acetone? Acetone, hit me up, man. We're definitely going to book a spot for you on the Hours of Chaos podcast, brother. Hit me up or I'll hit you up. Either way. But the world ain't even ready for this project that's coming out. And this project is called Jugaholics, which is out now on all streaming platforms. It's such a dope song. I can't stop listening to it. The first time I heard this song, my head fell off and I had to sew my head back on. And the track is called Detroit Walk City, and it features Darby O'Trill. This group, Jugaholics, consists of Darby O'Trill, Jigsaw, Devereaux, Frankie Goldie, Acetone Boogie, and Dot Strife. The world is not ready. Y'all ain't ready. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Who knows? Also, again, go peep this track, y'all. It's fucking fire. Also, we have another show coming up titled Chuckles, if you're still here in the chat, We have, where is that flyer? We have Block Night at the Stacy. Another dope underground show in y'all's area that you should definitely check out. Let's see. Of course, also in January, no, not January, February, Friday, February 3rd, Chris Calico will be performing at the Roxy Theater. Fuck yes. Anyone's ever seen Chris Calico live? Also, on Christmas, the homies, Wicked Wood, dropped a music video for Grinch Fingers, the remix. Go check it out. Shouts to my dudes, Wicked Wood. Wicked Wood for Underground Album of the Year. All I got to say is this year, there's going to be a lot of contention again in the underground for awards, and it's going to be dope. There's a lot of dope stuff that's been coming out lately. You know, there was a lot in the community that were focusing on this negative shit. Nah, we ain't about that here. We about that positivity. Hashtag rebuild the YJC. Hashtag underground unity. We are all the pages, motherfuckers. What else do we have? Thought we had more. Let me see. Oh, yeah. The legendary Jedi Mind Tricks is going on tour. For a little tour. They're doing this should be a very dope tour. I wish there was a Florida date. Because anyone's ever seen Jedi Mind Tricks or listens to Jedi Mind Tricks is phenomenal. Seeing them at the Gathering in 2019, that was dope. And then, of course, Damian Quinn and Razakal. Shouts to Damian Quinn, of Dark Half, Cult Shit, y'all. Wicked Wisconsin. And the one and only Razakal are re-releasing a group project that they did years ago. You guys probably remember this project. It's called Voodoo Dolls and Dabs. They are going to be re-releasing this. It's actually out right now, dropping digitally yesterday, and physical copies are available right now. So go peep that Voodoo Dolls and Dabs by Damian Quinn and Razakal. Shout outs to both of them. LSP and Shrunken Head Entertainment. Yatch. Also, another dope underground collab project is dropping. And yeah, this dope project is coming out spring of 2023, and there's going to be limited pressings of this. So when this comes out, make sure you guys get yourself a copy. I will definitely try to get a copy, or if someone wants to contribute to a copy or something. But this is called McGurb, and he is presents Ghosts of the Underground. And this is going to be a collaborative project with tracks from people with the likes of Zitro, who's been on the show, Bake Low, Terry Diaz, Vilo, HB the Grizzly is going to be on this, Schizo, Low Key is going to be on here. Smokey the Bear is going to be on this project. Bales, my homie from Southwest Detroit. Russell Hood, Aunt G. Again, this is living proof also, y'all, of underground unity. A lot of these artists coming and working on these projects together and dropping these cuts, these big tracks together. Then we have Paz, D Flat, the homie Benny Buttons representing Ear Drug Music. Jordan Stepp, Bad Luck. Knowledge the MC. And of course, the homies Wicked Wood. That's definitely exciting. I'm definitely going to order a copy of that. Fuck yeah. All right, y'all. And before I let you guys go, we're going to announce our guests for the Hours of Chaos podcast tomorrow. So, without further ado, drum roll, please. And then I'm going to go get off this podcast and I'm going to go chill with the love of my life. And I'm going to watch Squid Game because, yes, I'm finally watching Squid Game in anticipation for the new season. If you guys have not watched Squid Game, well, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch it. I'm finally watching it because, like I've been telling people, I have a long list of shows and movies I need to watch, and that is definitely one of them. If you guys have seen Squid Game, all I gotta say, it's fucked up. It's a good show, but it's fucked up. Holy shit. But yes. Drum roll, please. And then I'm going to go eat some good Indian food. I'm going to go eat some buttered chicken. You guys know about Indian food? And that buttered chicken. Yeah. But yes, there's a new season of Squid Game, so I'm getting caught up in anticipation for the next season. But Squid Game will scar you guys. It is fucked up. It's fucked up. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and announce our guest for tomorrow. Now I'm getting sidetracked. It's all good. I'm just hyped and in a very good mood. Anywho, our guest tomorrow, live on the Hours of Chaos podcast, is going to be, drum roll please. Some of you guys already know, if you've seen the trailer, you're probably going to see a clip pretty soon. Our guest tomorrow, live on the Hours of Chaos podcast, episode 198. We are going to be joined by the one and only HB the Grizzly. Oh, shit. Holy shit. I need to get that sound effect, though, just saying. The air horn. Yes. We're going to be joined by HB the Grizzly tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Tune in to Loving Chaos New Year's Eve, as well as be looking for a review for the homies Dead Camp on Sunday sometime. Keeping a lot going, y'all. Hashtag underground unity. And before I let you guys go, I got a question in the chat. What is my favorite horror movie? That is a tough choice. Very tough choice. I'm very picky when it comes to horror movies. I mean, a guilty pleasure horror movie, but that scares the shit out of me, is Wicked Little Things. That movie scares the living shit out of me. Especially watching that movie late at night. And it's like dead silent in your house. Fuck that. But yes, Halloween is definitely my favorite horror movie. Slasher series, yes, it's Halloween. Yes, I'm bad about checking the chat sometimes, but yeah, sometimes, not all the time. But yes, I love Halloween. Michael Myers all the way. I don't give a shit. In this household, we all about Team Michael Myers in this bitch, because Michael Myers don't give a fuck. Anywho, yeah. Hashtag underground unity. All right, time to get off with the sound off. All right, you guys know, like, subscribe, thumbs up this stream. Make sure you share it everywhere. No, follow your boy on social media. Follow Lady Chaos on all her social medias. And of course, please most definitely follow and peep the links down in the description to where you guys can follow our guest for the night, ODP. Check out all his links to where you can hear his music, his social medias, as well as where you can get yourself some fresh ass fire merch. Because go get yourself some. There's links down below. So go get yourself some. Apparently, I had something ordered from the Cerberus. So I know I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry sometimes, but yeah. I do have something that's ordered from there. That was ordered for me. And I'll probably do an unboxing for it whenever it gets here. So yeah. You guys already know who I am. I am Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S. Your friendly neighborhood JUGGALO. The Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. And if you still don't know, chat, let them hear it. Hashtag underground unity. Hashtag underground united. This is Don Chaos, and I will see you guys tomorrow with our guest, HB the Grizzly.